Most of us are seamlessly connected to various social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, and Instagram to find and connect with each other. While each has its benefits, it is important to remember that social media can never be a replacement for real world human connection. Do you check social media the last thing at night, the first thing in the morning, or even when you wake up in the night? The light from phones and other devices can disrupt your sleep, which in turn can have a serious impact on your mental health. If you are spending an excessive amount of time on social media and feelings of sadness, dissatisfaction, frustration, or loneliness are impacting your life, it may be time to re examine your online habits and find a healthier balance. Excessive use can fuel feelings of anxiety, depression, isolation, and fear of missing out, the FOMO. FOMO can compel you to pick up your phone every few minutes to check for updates or compulsively respond to each and every alert, even if that means taking risks while you are driving, missing out on sleep at night, or prioritizing social media interaction over real world relationships. The positive aspects of social media. While virtual interaction on social media does not have the same psychological benefits as face to face contact, there are still many positive ways in which it can help you stay connected and support your well being. The current pandemic has accelerated the digital learning and online collaboration. While this aspect of online technology has brought paradigm shift in learning and collaborating, an online environment might not come naturally to teachers and students. Policymakers need to consider ways to balance digital with screen free activities and keep a pulse on students' emotional health. Social media enables you to communicate and stay up to date with family and friends around the world. Find new friends and communities. Network with other people who share similar interests or ambitions. Seek or offer emotional support during tough times. Find an outlet for your creativity and self expression. Discover sources of valuable information and learning. The negative aspects of social media. There is little research to establish the long term consequences, good or bad, of social media use. However, multiple studies have found a strong link between heavy social media usage and an increased risk for depression, anxiety, loneliness, self harm, and even suicidal thoughts. Social media may promote negative experiences such as inadequacy about your life or appearance, fear of missing out, the FOMO, that is isolation, as has been narrated earlier, depression and anxiety. Human beings need face to face contact to be mentally healthy. Nothing reduces stress and boosts your mood faster or more effectively than eye to eye contact with someone who cares about you. Cyberbullying has become common and mostly teens are subjected to offensive comments. Social media platforms can be hotspots for spreading hurtful rumors, lies, and abuse that can leave lasting emotional scars. Self absorption. Sharing endless selfies and all your innermost thoughts on social media can create an unhealthy self-centeredness and distance you from real life. Many of us use social media as a security blanket. Whenever we are in a social situation and feel anxious, awkward, or lonely, we turn our phones and log on to social media. These days, most of us access social media via our smartphones or tablets. While this makes it very convenient to keep in touch, it also means that social media is always accessible. This round the clock hyper connectivity can trigger impulse control problems. The constant alerts and notifications affecting your concentration and focus, disturbing your sleep, and making you a slave to your phone. Mobile phones communicate with base stations using radio frequency radiation. If RF radiation is high enough, it has a thermal effect, which means it raises body temperature. It is important to understand the risks and possible effects of mobile phone use and make up your own mind about how you use your mobile phone. The vicious cycle of unhealthy social media. Excessive social media use can create a negative, self-perpetuating cycle. When you feel lonely, depressed, anxious, or stressed, you use social media more often as a way to relieve boredom or feel connected to others. Using social media more often, though, increases FOMO and feelings of inadequacy, dissatisfaction, and isolation. In turn, these feelings negatively affect your mood and worsen symptoms of depression, anxiety, and stress. These worsening symptoms can cause you to use social media even more, and so the downward spiral continues. Modifying social media use to improve mental health. Step number 1: reduce time online. The following tips can help. Use an app to track how much time you spend on social media each day. Turn off your phone at certain times of the day, such as when you're driving or in a meeting, at the gym, having dinner, spending time with offline friends, or playing with your kids. Do not take your phone with you to the bathroom. Do not bring your phone or tablet to bed. Turn devices off and leave them in another room overnight to charge. Disable social media notifications. Turning off notifications can help you regain control of your time and focus. Try limiting few social media apps on your phone. Step number 2: change your focus. If you are accessing social media to find specific information, check on a friend who has been ill, or share new photos of your kids with family. For example, your experience is likely to be very different than if you are logging on simply because you are bored. You want to see how many likes you got from a previous post, or to check if you are missing out on something. Next time you go to access social media, pause for a moment and clarify your motivation for doing so. Step number 3: spend more time with offline friends. We all need the face-to-face company of others to be happy and healthy. At its best, social media is a great tool for facilitating real life connections. Set aside time each week to interact offline with friends and family. Try to make it a regular get together where you always keep your phones off. If you have neglected face to face friendships, reach out to an old friend or an online friend and arrange to meet up. Step number 4: express gratitude. Feeling and expressing gratitude about the important things in your life can be a welcome relief to the resentment, animosity, and discontent sometimes generated by social media. Take time for reflection. Try keeping a gratitude journal or using a gratitude app. Step number 5. Make book reading relevant again. A room without books is like a body without a soul. Social media is killing book reading habit. Social media is unproductive use of time as it only entertains you and gives you no food for thought. Reading enriches one's intellectual abilities. Depth in reading helps to develop the mind and personality of a person. It provides insights into human problems and influences attitudes and behavior. In other words, reading helps to mold a person's character. It is well known that books can be a stimulating agent for building oneself. In this fast changing world, there are going to be lots of distractions. We must innovate to make book reading relevant again. Encouraging book reading through social media, incorporating reading in social media, e-books, developing relevant and quality literature, role models with whom the teens can connect, etc., can be a few starting steps. Instead of blaming, we need to work constructively so as to not deny ourselves of the benefits of social media. Intoxication and moderation, obsession or addiction. Can social media affect us physically and mentally in the way that alcohol or heroin can? A 2017 study by the University of Texas found that people's ability to hold and process data is impeded by the presence of their smartphone. Participants who kept their phones in another room or on their person but out of sight performed better than those who kept their phones on the desk while taking the same cognitive tests. It seems that the presence of our smartphones stifles our ability to concentrate on a task fully, just as a few drinks would. The internet has been with us in an everyday usage sense for less than 3 decades, but we are starting to see an impact upon users' mental and physical health. Physicians are seeing more and more cases of text neck, the neck pain and damage sustained from looking down at mobile devices too frequently and for too long. Digital eye strain is also an issue. Look up from your screen. The Royal Society for Public Health and the Young Health Movement is calling for action to help promote the positive aspects of social media for young people and reduce the potential negative impact of prolonged internet usage. It recommends the introduction of pop-up heavy usage warnings on screen and for social media companies to be more proactive in identifying users who could be suffering with mental health issues. There are existing treatments for addiction such as cognitive behavioral therapy, but with the growth of social media platforms and the increasing use of smart mobile devices, the intoxicating effects of social media can only become more pronounced. Based upon the emerging evidence, it does seem that perhaps we should be paying more attention to the people around us than to the people behind the screen. See you soon with another interesting episode of Wellness and Well-being.